going to go ahead and get started today with our total body strength session. Once again, we're going to need some heavy weights for the majority of our stuff, as well as some lighter weights for some shoulder specific work we've done in the past that we're going to do later on in today's session. But to get us started, you're going to give me those arm circles. We start those ones really nice and small, as if you're tracing the outer rim of an Oreo. And then you're going to start making those nice and bigger, almost like you're starting to trace the outer diameter or of a tire. You're taking a few reps here up at the top all the way. Then you're going to start bringing those down nice and small again. And once we get back down to that center, we're going the same thing, but we're going opposite direction. We're going backwards now. Few at the top and coming down back to the beginning. And once we get those nice and small again, keep those arms out, start giving me some hamstring curls and start giving me a nice chest opener while we're doing that chest opener. Really do focus on getting a nice stretch in that chest. Feel free to elongate a little bit longer out there on the outside. Maybe you don't come right back in. Take a little bit of time to squeeze out. And while we're doing that, squeeze those shoulder blades together. That's not only going to help stretch out that chest, but it's also great for our posture, especially if we spend a lot of time at the desk and we inadvertently let our shoulders round over. Great activity just to kind of open up, feel loose, get the blood flowing in both those directions. And right there, guys, I'm going to have you spread those legs just a little bit and just give me some squats. And at the top, guys, give me that calf raise. Really try to get as high as we can on those calf raises. I know we have two separate big calf muscles down there, and sometimes we contract maximally on one. We forget to contract maximally on the other, so make sure we're taking advantage of both of their range of motions as we're getting our lower half warmed up. Right there, guys. Keep those legs out, but spread them out a little bit for me. Give me some side shifts. Trying to stay nice and low. That's going to help us activate those glutes, as we're also trying to mainly focus on stretching those interior thighs. So if we have to come on up, stretch, come on over, stretch again. Still okay, but still trying to get that glute activation as well. Right there, guys. Come on up. Start giving me some lunges. These lunges can be normal paced. That's okay. That's going to help get that blood flow going a little bit quicker, but don't be afraid to shy away, or don't be afraid to commit to these slower repetition. It allows us to get that nice eccentric stretch on that back leg, that hip flexor, which is going to be really important, again, just to get that blood flowing just in a different way, to spend some time on getting some stretches in an area where we tend to be tight from sitting. And right there, guys, come on up. Give me some hip openers. Inside to out. And give me that same thing, but opposite direction, outside in. Right there, guys. Go ahead, shake it out a little bit more. Give me some water. Make sure we're still hydrating that body. We just spent some time warming up. We're gonna be back here in a second with some heavy weights optional for some lower body activities. All right, guys, as you're coming back to me, like I said, feel free to grab some heavy weights if you'd like to, or even just one you can hold out here. But the first couple activities we're going to start off with are going to be backwards lunges and side lunges. It's going to be continuous backwards lunges here. Then I'm going to give us a switch. It's going to transfer over to side lunges. Again, I'll let you know that, but that's the first activities that you're going to expect to go through. So if you think you can carry some weight for those, feel free to grab those. But we're going to start that in just about 10 seconds here, guys. I'll let you get ready, set that water down. Again, backwards lunges here in 3, 2, and 1. Stepping backwards, couple things I want you guys to focus on is making sure as we're coming down, our hips aren't dipping like that. That was an exaggeration, but you might only notice something like this. Trying to make sure we're maximizing that medial glute muscle right here to keep our hips level. And as we're coming down, we're pressing through that heel, not letting our knee get too far forward. We can elongate the stance. We want to press through that heel to come on back up. And of course, you guys are alternating legs here while I'm demonstrating that. And then about 10 seconds, we're going to switch on over to those side lunges. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to have you guys stand on up. Side lunge. Same thing here. Still try to press through those heels. If you have limited space at home, other option is just to keep those legs planted and just shift weight like this. This is going to be easier to press through those heels, so I really want those people to focus on if you find yourself in that dilemma. But if you're doing this, really focus on still trying to press through that heel. Even though it's a bit more dynamic, you might want to get on the balls of your feet. Still try to keep that glute as maximally activated as possible. You guys are giving me 10 more seconds. We're going right back into those side lunges. 3, 2, and 1. I'm have you guys come back up, starting side or reverse lunges, backwards lunges in 3, 2, and begin. As we start to fatigue, one thing to also check on is this front knee. Make sure we're not moving that too much, trying to keep that nice and straight. That is our base of support. One other thing, especially as we start to fatigue, we want to make sure we're paying attention to is still trying to keep this torso as upright as possible. You might find yourself bending forward, especially if you have tighter hip flexors. A little bend is okay, so maybe to right here. But if we're holding those weights and we have to come up like this, or what I should say is come up like that, we'd rather drop those weights so that we can keep that torso up and come right on up from there, guys. But you're going to keep going there for 5, 4, 3, 2, return back to center with me, back to those side lunges in 3, 2, and go ahead. Same thing, kind of, as we were talking about with those lunges, we want to make sure that we're not utilizing this upper body to whip ourselves back up, especially if we're holding those weights. We'd rather set those weights down, try to keep that torso up. Even if we're doing these dynamics, torso up and over, not coming over and whipping ourselves back up. That's not only protecting our spines, but it's keeping tension on those working muscles that we're trying to pay attention to. And 3, 2, and 1. Right there, guys. We're gonna kind of expand beyond those 2 activities. We're going to do a single leg squat down, and you're gonna have one of 2 options based on your balance. You can try to reverse lunge it and then come down. Again, trying to keep that back foot as high off the ground as possible as you're squatting down. Once it touches, feel free to do a normal lunge or reaching on out to the side, same concept. If this is our working leg here, we're squatting down, reaching over, finish that squat, come back up. It's really just trying to work on isolation from those muscles, avoiding any hip flexor or adductor contribution. I'm gonna let you guys decide. It's probably easier for us to reach out than it is for us to reach back, but I'll let you guys be the judge. A little bit of rest here. We're going here in 3, 2, and 1. So you have guys squatting down on one leg, reaching over, come back up, squatting down on one leg, reaching over, come back up. If you want to try the backwards method, squatting down, reaching back, come back up, squatting down, reaching back, come back up. Again, this is really just trying to work on that neuromuscular connection, just trying to get you sensitive to the idea of a single leg motion. We're going for another 10 seconds, guys. Really being considerate of how far you're getting, trying to get that foot farther back or farther out every rep that you do. 2 and 1. Right there, guys. You're going to pick up those heavy weights for me now, and you're just going to give me that hip hinge and an RDL, which is basically a little bend in those knees. Weights track right in front of the legs. Back stays nice and straight, hinging at the hips, utilizing that glute hamstring stretch to notice your limiting range of motion at the bottom, as well as delivering that strength to get you back up to the top. Starting here in 3, 2, and begin. Again, guys, when we're here, we want to make sure that we're not allowing that spine to round out. Keep that back nice and straight. We don't want this to be a back extensor exercise so much as we do want it to be a hamstring glute strengthener, as well as a bit of an eccentric stretch for us for a little bit of relief after those movements prior. But you guys are giving me 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and break right there, guys. Go ahead, grab me a drink of water. We'll be back here in just a moment. All right, as you guys are coming on back to me, this is where we're going to do that shoulder work here that I was talking to us about earlier. So this is where we're going to require those lighter weights that we have available to us. It's going to be the same pairing that we've done in the past. We're going to start off with a lateral raise to a front raise, and then we're going to couple that after the fact, 2 separate sets. So I'll give you guys the cue to switch, but it'll be a rear delt up to a Y raise, focusing on bringing those shoulder blades down. But that first one's going to be that lateral raise to the front raise. I'll let you guys grab those weights, and we're going to get started here in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So go ahead. Nice and controlled lateral raise, nice and controlled front raise. What we don't want is to get a little bit of momentum from our legs and our hips and fly out there. We'd rather keep everything else nice and steady. Raise up, control down, raise up, control down. On that front raise, we're making sure we're not swaying back. We're going to do that a little bit maybe to counteract the lever of the weights, but as much as possible, we want everything from our shoulders to our ankles staying as stationary as possible, with just everything from our shoulder to our wrist in movement here. If you ever find yourself trying to go faster to get that weight up or getting a little help from our legs, I'd rather you take a little bit of rest in between each rep so that you find the strength to go further. But guys, we're stopping in 3, 2, and 1. You're going to go down into that hinge position, stagger stance, as if we were going to do a row, and we're going to go rear delt into Y raise. With that Y raise, focus on trying to pull those shoulder blades down and into the spine. So we're starting that in 3, 2, and 1. So give me that nice rear delt into that Y. And guys, we won't go as long with these two, as these are smaller parts of the shoulder, shoulder muscles that are going to be worked right now. So they're going to get fatigued a little bit quicker. We won't spend as much time. And if you find yourself, especially with that Y raise, getting fatigued, feel free to just go to that rear delt. That's more than acceptable. Again, quality over quantity every time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and quick break, guys. We're going to go one more set of each of those pairings. Again, just to make sure that we've nice and fatigued that shoulder area so that we can get in that work for the day. But we're going to go here with that lateral raise, front raise combination in 2 and 1. Raise those weights, nice and controlled. Forward. Again, this is going to be that part where some of us might start feeling fatigued more than others. Really make sure we're not trying to get any extra momentum. We want this to be a complete call from our muscle fibers that's doing the work, not all this extra energy that we're using to get these weights out. So if we ever find ourselves, maybe we only get that far, that's okay to take a rep or 2 off, let those shoulders breathe a little bit. Try again. We'll probably find that strength and go again. If you're finding yourself really unable to control the weight, one thing you can do is try to count up 1, 2, and then try to count out 3 to 4 seconds on that way down. It's just a nice mental way to stay connected to what your body is doing. I'm going to have you guys stop right there. Back into that rear delt in 3, 2, and rear delt. Y raise. And if you found yourself getting fatigued and unable to control that momentum in the previous lateral and front raise exercises, now might be a good time to really focus on giving us a nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 on the way down, especially with this Y raise. That is the weakest joint motion that we're going to be focusing on. So if that Y raise is getting too difficult and even counting doesn't help us out, feel free to scrap it. Just focus on the rear delts. That's more than okay. But you guys are giving me here 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm going to have you guys rest right there. Feel free to shake out the shoulders, shrug them out, maybe give me a few arm circles. In a second here, guys, we're going to pick up our heavy weights. We're going to find ourselves back in that staggered stance, hip at the hinge at our hips, back nice and straight, and we're going to be giving us those rows. This is going to further target that rear delt we were working on. What I want us to focus on, guys, is shrug those shoulders back before we start moving. Drive those elbows up, keeping those shoulder blades together. And those shoulder blades stay together until the end of that motion. Guys, we're going to be getting that in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. You're giving me those rows right here. Nice pause at the top. Always a great idea. We like to see that. Pinch those shoulder blades together. Really feel those muscles between the shoulder blades contracting. If we're not feeling it, we're not helping ourselves as much as we could be, especially because we will be working the chest, a much stronger muscle than those muscles in the back. So if we don't pay attention to those, the chest is going to win out. We might find ourselves with rounded shoulders, and we'd like to avoid that. Three, 2, 1. I'm going to have you guys facing me right now. Just give me some bicep curls for me. This is the same thing as those lateral raises and front raises. Avoid giving us a bounce up. We really want to keep everything nice and stable. Just focusing on those curls. No sways. No little bounces, even with the knees. If we can keep our body perfectly still, that's going to keep tension on that bicep. That makes us stronger, which makes our quality of life better. So that's what we like to focus on here. 10 more seconds, you guys. Then we're going to take it down to the mat in 4, 3, 2. Down here, guys. We're going to start off weights in both hands, push up. You guys are going to give me pullovers here. That's going to be our first activity starting in 3, 2, and begin. So what those pullovers look like, control that weight back. Try to keep that spine in connection with the floor. Equal connection throughout that same range of motion. So wherever your spine is at the top of this rep, it should be the same at the bottom. Avoid letting that curve of the lower spine get exaggerated. That's good for our back. It's also good for our torso muscles, or also commonly referred to as core muscles. And we're not letting those weights smash into the ground. Always under control. Not only is that better for strength gains to always have weights under control, it's also better for safety because then our joints aren't taking up any additional impact. You guys are giving me 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right there, guys. Weights in both hands, still up at the top. Right into these chest presses right here with me, you guys. Avoiding any lockouts at the top if we want to take a rest. Let's take that rest down here. We can even rest those elbows. That's okay. Why we don't want to lock out at the top is just because that's weight that has to go through our joint, through that elbow, through that shoulder, and it's just not really worth it. Let's keep those joints nice and safe. So if we have to rest, it's fine to rest those weights down here and then re-engage when we're ready. 15 seconds. See if you can't really exaggerate that down portion for 2 reps here, maybe going down 6 to 8 seconds on that control down if you have the muscular endurance to do so. If not, more than okay to continue normal speed reps, guys, but you're done here in 2, 1. Break right there, guys. Last 2 activities you guys are going to give me today is going to be a bird dog plank. Again, trying to protect that spine. That's the thing that everybody really has to concern themselves as time goes on, is low back pain, especially in our more sedentary lives than what society had or than society's involved in. So you're going to give me a bird dog, alternate opposite arm, opposite leg, starting in 2 and 1. Go ahead. One thing we're making sure, guys, is we're not rotating at all. Keep that balance nice and secure. Squeezing those glutes, squeezing those shoulders, getting that straight line from our wrist down to our ankle. Feel free to keep that neck in line with the spine, which means you're probably going to look down at the ground a little bit. No need to really look forward. It's more than okay just to look down. Again, we're keeping that neck nice and neutral. You guys have 2 and break right there. I'll have you guys get right into this plank position, and we'll be going off in 3, 2, and begin. Again, make sure now that you're in position, straight line from your shoulders to your hips to your ankles, with maybe your hips being a little bit higher. That's what we're looking for here. I'm going to give you guys a count. You have 30 seconds left, just for reference. 30 seconds left right here, right now. 20 to go. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and give me a break right there, guys. You're going to stay down on the ground here for just a couple stretches. We're going to stretch right down in the center. Then we'll stand up, make some use of gravity, as well as the wall to stretch out some other muscles. But first things first, spread those legs for me right down to the center. Feel free to have that water bottle with you right here. Take sips as needed. Again, this is a great time to get that water intake up and high, so our bodies are able to flush out the metabolites after that workout. Get some repair going in there. Blood volume goes up, especially as sweat volume went up, blood volume went down. So let's replenish that blood volume so that our body is able to properly transport nutrition to our past tense worked muscles. Right there, guys, we're going to go ahead and take it down to the mat. You're going to give me one ankle on the opposite knee. You're going to pull in that bottom knee. Give me some ankle rolls, but we're really focusing on this glute stretch right down there. Three, 2, switch. Give me that same thing. Again, those ankle rolls, just a great thing to do to help milk blood back up to the heart, or really just to get some positive blood flow going down there. Waking up those ankles, especially if they stay immobilized throughout the day at the desk. And then a little bit of contraction never hurt anyone to get blood flow back up towards the heart, especially with us in this supine position. It really is a little bit more beneficial. 2 and 1 right there, guys. We're going to come on up. Standing up here. Just give you a nice bent over hamstring stretch. Again, feel free, touch the toes or the ground, or just to cross your arms, bending at the hips. If that reaching for the floor is a little bit too much. Mental consideration, we want this to be more of a relaxation, more than a concentration type of moment. So feel free to cross those arms. And right there, guys, we're gonna trace our hands up to our knees to extend our spine. Then we can extend at the hips. Just give me a couple alternating Spider-Man stretches here. Get those hip flexors. And right there, guys, go ahead, stand on up, find yourself a wall. Just give me a quick chest stretch here against the wall. Switch on over. And right here, guys, last stretch of the day. Of course, our 4-way neck stretch. Give you that chin tucked into the chest for the back of our neck. Again, we like to conclude class here just to get some blood flow back up to the brain, as that's going to be the best working organ for the rest of your day. Right there, go ahead, raise that head up, opposite direction, stretching the front of our neck as our head tilts back. And return to center, 1 ear, same side shoulder, side of our neck. And raise it up, do that same thing on the other side.